everybody. Welcome to episode 12 of Analog Stick Radio, and we are live. We are live. This is it. I'm your host, Mitch, as always, and I am joined by, now you can see, my absolutely lovely co-hosts. We have, over here on my right, we have Chris. And it's him waving right there. And we have this dastardly man over there with the really odd-looking cup, Dakota.
Hello.
Guys,
that's a cool cup. You gotta look at that.
That's
guys,
the cup.
we're live. That's the BlizzCon cup, making us jealous, making everybody in the internet world jealous. So, guys, how you feeling? We're live. Everyone can hear what you're doing. Don't pick your nose.
It's cool. That's going to be the biggest
Chris,
thing for me is picking
Chris,
noses.
don't pick your nose. Oh, also, guys, I forgot. We have a special guest on, and he's going to be on every time we're recording live. Now, Chris, do you want to introduce Nanners to the world?
Oh, this is my good friend Bruce Banana.
Bruce Banana.
He's very classy.
Yeah.
I mean, you could ask him any question, and he's gonna have the same response
every single time. Hey, Bruce, how you doing over there?
So good.
So
Little
good.
winky face.
All right, guys, let's talk about what we've played this week. Chris, what'd you play
This week, I played so much Graduate School. It's stupid. It's my final week.
Chris,
but
are you
I
level
did-
40 in graduate school?
No, level like 3, negative 2. I did my Hearthstone challenge.
Oh,
Got
yes.
that done.
We'll talk about that a little
I'll
bit
talk
later.
about that later. And I played some Heroes, but I did get a chance to download Unreal Tournament 4.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah. We talked about that, but we never actually ended up doing anything with it.
Yeah, well, I did something with it.
You did something
this
with
weekend.
it. That's cool.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Chris,
Chris, what did you think? So it's open beta, right?
it's open
Or
pre-alpha.
open. Oh no, it's open source. I'm sorry. Right, like a lot of the stuff in there is open source, so you can like make your own maps and stuff.
Yeah, it's Epic
is that
Games
right?
is working with the community to make maps and everything
That's
about
huge.
this game.
Wow, that's
it's
awesome.
like it's really open. So if you have any coding, you could go in and start messing with stuff, helping with game modes and everything.
That's
Dakota,
really-
you could go in there and decode something.
Oh my god.
We're not using this word, but it's really cool. Right now, it's very bare bones. There's like, I don't know, 3 maps that have textures. So the other maps are, there's a lot of maps already, but the other ones are just like basic wall textures. Like sometimes it's just polygons, and other times it's like, the basic rust or
Yeah.
block A texture all over the wall.
That's how I like my maps. It's very simple.
Yeah. But I really like it because it reminds me of the core Unreal feel where you played a lot of mod maps, like user-made maps. So I really like it. There's a lot of the basic weapons are still in. They got the flak cannon, they have the rocket launcher, they have a lot of the needed weapons in there. But
No.
it's really fun. It's really tight so far. I feel like you could dodge too easily though. Like I accidentally dodge all the time if you press right. Or like against a wall, you jump off a wall. Like I'm just running, then I jump off a wall because I do that in real life. So
You jump off walls all the time. Every time we're hanging out, you jump off
by
walls.
accident.
I'm like, Chris, wait, no. But you just, there you go. He just
There he
went.
goes.
Dakota, what did you play this week?
This week I played a little bit of a game in beta called Paladins.
Oh, yes, I saw you posting about that.
Did you? Yeah,
Kinda
yeah.
looks- it's like Overwatch, kind of.
Kind of like Overwatch. Yeah, I didn't mention I didn't mention the Overwatch the game in my preview because I didn't want to illicit comparisons because it's just going to come out unfavorably. But not because the game is bad. Don't get me wrong. The game's actually pretty damn good. It's very early in beta. I think it's been in beta. I think since November 17th, I want to say, but don't quote me on that. So very
Quote him.
early.
Quoted. This is live, so
Quoted.
you're quoting.
That's right. I can't go back and scrub that. I think the beta build I played was the second beta build, and so there's only 2 maps. Like Overwatch, it's a first-person shooter with a hero roster each of whom has kind of MOBA-esque abilities, abilities on cooldowns. So it draws a lot from the MOBA genre, even more than Overwatch. In fact, Overwatch, the map modes kind of pull from FPS, traditional FPS game modes,
Or like the
payloads.
Team Fortress 2 style.
Pretty much, right?
Right.
TF2 especially with payloads, capture point. With Paladins, you had a very, very interesting expression of the MOBA map objective in a first-person setting. So you have to destroy the enemy base like you would in a MOBA. And what you do is there's 3 capture points in each map, and you have to capture one. You have to contest one. One will
Wait, you
become
have to
active.
capture the capture points?
I know.
That's not intuitive.
Hold on to your horses. So there's 3 capture points, one of which becomes active at a time, and each team of 5 heroes has to contest a point, and whoever caps the point, a siege engine spawns. And when the siege engine spawns, then it slowly marches its way automatically towards the enemy base, just like MOBA creep, and begins shooting their gates down. And when it does, you have to get through 3 gates, and once you're through, you win. So it's very straightforward. It's really fun, and
Isn't
I actually have.
There's like a little card mechanic. I think
There
I saw,
is.
right? There's like these little cards that you get.
Yeah.
For the abilities, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you can basically, it's basically their talent system. They express them through cards. So instead of talents like you traditionally would have in any other game with talents, you've got cards which you unlock through playing randomly, and you can also craft and decompose them, just like we were talking about TF2 can with scrap. And each of the cards will augment one of your abilities, one of your hero abilities. So you might get a card that makes the archer's dodge roll go twice as far, or something like that. And when you level up in match, like you would in a MOBA. You're presented with 3 cards, 3 choices, and you have to pick one of each of those 3 choices. So
it's like you discover a talent.
Yeah, exactly. And so your choices. Yeah, the game mode that I played was the casual mode, and in that mode, the cards that comprise your deck were randomized. They were basically all the cards you had unlocked for each hero, but it looks like their pre-made mode, their competitive mode, or whatever is going to be. So you have to actually go and tinker with your deck. You say, I want to build my character like this, and so those are going to be only the cards that you see in a match.
Huh, that's really
It
interesting.
was cool.
The game looks cool. I'm excited to see it when it comes out. It looks interesting. It does look like an Overwatch clone, though.
Yeah,
I'm afraid.
I'll get you guys some keys. It's fun. I had a lot of fun. Like I hate to say it, but I was surprised by how much fun it was.
I'm concerned about the randomness of the cards.
Oh
it
my
does
God,
present some
Chris,
concerns.
Jesus.
Nah, it's fair. It's fair.
You could bitch about anything.
It's not bitching. Like,
wait, hold
if
on.
you get
Are
a
we allowed
choice
to
of like
curse on
all
Twitch?
health ups,
Is that a thing?
what?
It's okay.
Okay.
You're not allowed.
It's quite all right.
No.
Oh no, but it's the
Christian-
internet. You can't
it's a
curse on the
Christian
internet.
network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Dakota, you and I actually, we are going on a journey right now this week. We started playing some of World of Warcraft back. We reactivated it.
Oh my goodness, we did.
We did. We reactivated it. I bought Warlords of Draenor. It was on sale for $13, and I drank the Kool-Aid again. And it's actually hilarious because I've spent more time in WoW setting up my add-ons and UI than I have actually playing the game.
Oh yes,
That's the thing. I talked to him this weekend. I'm like, oh, so you started WoW? How was it? He's like, I spent like 3 hours setting up my add-ons and I logged off. And I'm like, sounds like WoW.
Well, Dakota showed me this
everyone
really
needs to
cool
know.
thing where you could like set up different symbols, like when a thing is procced or like when a cooldown is up. And I was like, oh, I want to do this for everything now. And 3 hours later, I was like, I haven't even played this game. Let me just start playing it. And I like did one quest, and I was like, and Dakota's like, you want to play some Rocket League? And I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. That's exactly what I don't want to play. So that's what I did this week, and it was pretty fun. I mean, other than that, I played the usual suspects. Played some League, played some, Hearth. I played a lot of Hearthstone, actually. So it's been fun, though, but I'm enjoying. I'm excited because I don't want to do much in WoW. Right? I think I was telling Dakota today, all I want to do, I've decided, is grind classic dungeons for the mounts and the little pets. That's all I want to do. And the gear, because you can transmogrify in WoW now. So if I wanted the Druid tier 2, like to wear it all the time, I could just go get it and then transmog it onto like whatever actual gear I have, and that's cool. So
it is cool.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do anything important. Just run around and kill Onyxia by myself.
Why don't you just play Diablo with me then?
Because you won't make a hardcore character. You won't make a hardcore character. That's why.
If it lags out, we're done, and I'm not.
Don't lag out, man. Get better internet.
Fantastic.
Get better internet. All right, well, let's actually move on to our main topic because I'm really excited about this one tonight. All right, guys, so today we are going to be talking about, lo and behold, streaming. Since we decided to start live streaming our podcast, we figured might as well talk about it. It's been a pretty big part of gaming for the past, 5 or 6 years now, and maybe even longer than that. And it's the reason we're here today. So we're gonna break it down.
Tip our hats.
Yeah. Thanks. Pretty much thanks Twitch, right? Like they're the guys we have to thank if we were thinking
Justin
anybody.
TV.
Justin.tv,
yeah,
exactly.
That's right.
If you
that's
wanna-
right.
If you want to get real.
I remember the first time that I ever watched any sort of streaming. It was on Justin TV, and I watched some German dude who now in my mind I always think his name is Justin just because I have that weird memory association. Watch him play I Want to Be the Boshi on Justin TV and die.
I Want to Be
and
the
get
Boshi.
super
wow.
mad. And that was like 2 or 3 years ago or something like that.
That's
and
insane.
since then, it's come a long way, right? I mean, they've basically Twitch has basically abandoned the whole Justin TV brand essentially, and now it's all video gaming all the time.
Yeah, it's
bought out by,
exciting. Like
Amazon.
You can have a career as a Twitch streamer. Like that's a thing. Like what I saw. What is his name? The guy that everybody likes that I don't like at all. No offense. The loud like Swedish guy.
PewDiePie?
The loud Swedish guy?
Not PewDiePie.
PewDiePie.
It's
no.
PewDiePie. That's what it is. Yeah, PewDiePie. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were saying I'm a cutie pie, and that's a League streamer. So I was like, no, not him.
Oh,
no, PewDiePie. Yes, he was on like the Colbert Report talking about how he's like a freaking millionaire. That's he's insane.
He's primarily a YouTuber, and he's probably one of the most successful YouTube content creators on the planet. I think he may be either him or the woman that opens up toys. Disney toys. Have you heard of this?
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit of a tangent, but I mean it's related.
Interesting.
There's a woman who she doesn't even show her face. She opens up toys like Disney princess dolls and shit like that, and she's a millionaire. She's made millions of dollars opening up packages where all you see is her hands and her nails. And according to the fathers that I've spoken to at like work, they're like, "Oh yeah, my kids, it's like crack, man. Something about those videos, like they just eat them up."
I can see because the lady has such a soothing voice, and like a kid's like, "Oh, it's their grandma showing them a little toy." Like,
yeah,
that's good.
It's weird.
I mean, you see people like unwrapping old Magic cards on Twitch. People do that a lot as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's got less charm than a grandma opening a Disney toy.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people did see the video of that guy opening the Black Lotus. Like that was pretty.
Yeah,
a lot of
it was
people
pretty
saw
cool,
that.
but it's not like a grandma opening a Little Mermaid toy, like a guy fat fingering a card and be like, "Oh, it's the Black Lotus."
He does not fat finger the card. He's actually got like these special gloves on, and he like opens it with like a thing. And come on now, don't give me that look.
It's not charming.
Don't give me that look.
It's
He
not
was
charming.
charming. I felt charmed by him. So let's talk about this. So like, what do we think about this? Like, so Twitch is pretty much the only like streaming site, really. Like, there's not there. I think I've seen like some other ones for like more foreign countries. I remember when I was trying to watch Worlds while I was at work, Twitch was blocked. So I found another one that was also streaming, and I forget exactly what it's called. It was very unremarkable, and the quality was kind of bad. But like, I mean, I know that one exists, but that's the only other one I've ever heard of, and I only heard of it because I had Googled other streaming sites.
There was
like,
Google is really big now. So the Google Google was trying to buy Twitch for a while. Amazon bought out Twitch. So in response to that, Google made their own streaming channel. It's like Google Gamer or something. I haven't used it, but they're trying to. That's what the competition for Twitch is currently. Because YouTube
has one now too. They just released a streaming
what I meant.
service
Google
about a month ago.
Bought YouTube, and then the YouTube's using the YouTube Gamer or whatever.
That's right.
As the streaming channel, because YouTube has the streaming capability, it always has, but it's trying to take that gamer market that Twitch has and put it on there, and it's not. I don't know if it's working yet.
Should we shut this down and go over to YouTube Gamer real quick? What do we do?
Pack it up, boys.
Pack it up.
Come on, Danner.
Just move over there. We'll see you guys over there. We'll make a link.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about that? Doesn't it seem like out of nowhere, right? Twitch basically has the monopoly on live streaming video games. Is that a problem? Is that okay?
I think it's all right for now because they're one of the first ones that people got attracted to. It's with all things. You know what I mean? Eventually somebody's going to find a better derivative of the Twitch network,
right,
I guess, and going to move on. But for right now, it's got the monopoly, and I think they do fine with it.
Yeah, the question is, can they handle it?
I'll enjoy it.
Yeah, if they can handle it, then I think that it's fine. And I think Worlds for League of Legends proved that they can handle it because that had a lot of capacity to it.
Well,
I didn't see it go down once.
different monster. That's talking about like esports, talking about giant, enormous, like multi-million people viewership.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I think it's okay if Twitch has. I think it's okay if Twitch has a monopoly as long as they're not like their servers don't suck, right? As long as they can handle the little guy and the big guy. If they can do a good job across all spectrums, then I think that it's fine. And I think that League has proven that they've done a good job, and here we are. It's also doing a good job. So
why do you think Twitch has gotten so big? Like, what about it? What about the gaming culture?
I don't know, man. I personally think it's just right place, right time. People have been streaming for a long time. Ustream, live stream, and Justin TV existed, as much as 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and
more than that.
Yeah, and people use them, but just on a very, very reduced scale, right? So it's not like it's a new thing. It just seems like all of a sudden, I don't know, is it just part of the way that the world is becoming more interconnected, that we have everybody's got fast internet, everybody, nobody's dialing in anymore, everybody can handle streaming a video over their network. Does that have anything to do with it?
I mean, I think that has a lot to do with it. I think the fact that technology has gotten so much more advanced that computers are better. So like personal computers are better, and they're cheaper. They're more affordable now. You can get, like 10 years ago, my computer would have cost me like $4,000, $5,000. Now I built it for like $900. That's nothing,
Beyond the technical aspect, I think it's something to say for the people who want a more human connection. You're able to get that through a computer now. Like, we're able to have a conversation with us three. Mitch lives like a couple hours away or an hour away. Then Dakota lives
30 minutes, but it's okay. 30 minutes.
No, it feels like an hour. I just want to try and get you far away. And Dakota lives across the country. Like, yeah, we're able to talk right now, live, real quick. Get in there. People want. I always think of the Twitch culture because it's more the younger generations that I still don't use Twitch too much. I don't use any live streaming. I don't really watch live streamers. I'd rather play. And I feel like the younger generation that's growing up with this, maybe were the younger brothers or sisters originally that got this popular and like to watch their friends and family play the games. And I feel like this is a good way to connect with different people. Like, you're watching somebody play this game, you're able to talk to the other people around, like you're sitting on the couch, chit-chatting with your family about, like, seeing what's happening in the room, and everybody's really connected and close. And I feel like that really lends itself to the video game culture of everybody on the couch hanging out, watching player one take over, and I think it's a really good way to connect people like that.
Well, that's what PewDiePie said on the Colbert Report. Colbert asked him the same questions, like, what is going on? Like, why is this a thing? Like, why he's like, don't take offense to this, but why are you a millionaire? Like, why is this a thing? And he said it's for people. It's like I'm sitting down on the couch playing video games with them, but I never give up the controller. Right, but that's what it's like. They're just hanging out, and especially if you like see somebody, if they play relatively regularly, you get this community that just evolves and evolves upon itself, right? Like outside of Twitch itself, it just evolves in its own little channel. I mean, if you think about like Twitch plays Pokemon, for example, that whole community evolved in itself, and that was its own body and its own thing. Or you have like one of my favorite Magic streamers is this guy Paul Cheon. And he has this joke. Yeah, buddy. One of his friends always just yells at him. He's like, Paul, and he just always yells at him. So anytime someone says Paul in the chat, the whole chat starts filling up with Paul for like 3 minutes. It's just an unusable chat filled with Paul, and that's something that only happens in like that channel. So I think you just have this like body of people that like sort of get to know each other without really getting to know each other. They all just kind of hang out together. And I think that's interesting. It's the familiarity. It's you have somebody that gets on either like every day or every week, and you get to know that person, and you just like, it feels comfortable, I guess so. I mean, human beings are social creatures, and we always want to connect to a thing or be a part of a group. And so it only makes sense that, social media is huge. We've got a dozen social media websites, viable social media websites that people use on a daily basis. And I don't mean redundancies like MySpace and Facebook. I mean like Tumblr and Facebook and Reddit and Twitch and Twitter and Instagram. And like these all can coexist separately successfully because us humans will take any excuse
to have a new platform to connect with people. That's just what we like to do as creatures. And I don't think Twitch is any different. It's just another way to connect with people. What's weird though about Twitch, and I don't know if this is true of most any other social media platform, is that the collective body of people, maybe Reddit is somewhat similar, but the collective body of people that comprise Twitch, the viewers themselves, kind of you guys are often referred to as like a singular entity, and in many ways they act as a singular entity. You know, it's almost some weird
their behavior is very predictable. Yes,
it's almost like some weird social biology shit that I can't speak to. God, what about you, Chris? Does your schooling have anything to do with this kind of stuff?
Yeah, psychologically analyze this.
The only guy that's still in school, I gotta ask.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not currently there. I mostly work with children. But
we could ask,
I guess this might be
we could ask
applicable.
Nanner. What does Nanner think of the Twitch chat?
Nanner, you got any ideas? God, he's always such a creep.
Weirdo.
I mean, the meme culture. A meme. We think of meme as like, you know, the success kid right now, but all it is an idea that's passed through the society.
Right. Meme comes from genes, right? They're passed like genetics are, but through social culture.
So this way, it's just like we're able to live through, like create these memes and go evolve them so quickly. Like just keep going. That's that Paul thing. Like somebody says Paul, somebody else says Paul right afterwards, think it's really funny, and you just get a whole thing of Paul, and everybody's feeding off each other, feeling like they're part of the giant one group. And it's great. Everybody's part of it. I'd put in there Carl. Plug it in. I'm sure a bunch of people would start going Carl all across.
I mean, even the emojis themselves, right, have this weird mimetic quality to them. If somebody now types the word Kappa outside of Twitch, and for those that don't know, when you type in the word Kappa, you get an emoji in Twitch chat. If somebody types that word outside of Twitch, other people know what it means. Like they know what meaning is implied based on the word, even though the word is not often seen in Twitch chat itself. You usually see the emoji.
They associate the word with the emoji now, which is insane.
I really want to thank you for explaining that to me, because like I said, I never watch any Twitch anything. I didn't know what Kappa meant. I just thought it was like some kind of weird like waifu, like some kind of like Japanese thing that people are like, oh, Kappa.
Yes. Kappa is like the little gray man. I don't know if you've seen it.
Okay.
If you look in chat right now, you'll see Kappa. So that's where Kappa comes from. And it's wild that like that Twitch culture is extending outward from Twitch, right? It's bigger than its home base now, which is kind of weird.
It's crazy. It's crazy to see like how far Twitch has come in such a short amount of time, and it really speaks to like how rapidly our culture as a whole, like as humans, just evolves. We take one thing and it just evolves so quickly. You know, between like the internet and like technology, we've had like exponential advancement, and I think it's even happened in Twitch. You know, you have something that's like not very popular, and then it just explodes, and it's just exponentially like huge out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But when things get popular, sometimes people don't like certain facets of it. Like I feel like a lot of people accuse other people, I see this online, of wanting to be the next PewDiePie or something. You know what I mean? Like a lot of Me Too's out there.
I mean, we want to be the next PewDiePie. We want to be 3 of them right here.
Yeah, you be the Pew D, and I'll be the Pie.
Well, it's a funny thing because like,
yeah.
On Skype, I'm down.
Oh, so no, see, Dakota's the Pie.
Oh, damn.
This is terrible radio. Terrible radio.
Guys, we're not used to this. Normally on the podcast, we just talk over each other and don't give a shit. So
yeah. So no, I mean, it's really interesting because it's almost like vocal minority phenomenon with regards to successful streamers, because in reality there are very, very few successful streamers. Like in order to be a Twitch partner, which is when Twitch starts paying you money based on your viewership, you have to have 500 viewers consistently before they will ask you to become a partner. You know, this is outside of donations. This is just like per view revenue. And once you have 500 people regularly, then you might actually start seeing money, but it's still not going to be too much. If you can make like 2K viewers consistently, like on maybe like a 5 out of 7 day basis for regular work hours, then you could actually, you know, pull in some change. I think people were saying 2,000 viewers would maybe roughly translate to $2,000 a week. That's some money, right?
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's actually money. The number of people that are actually making that kind of money, though, is insignificant, especially compared to the number of people that are actually streaming. You look at if you go browse the Twitch channels, there's hundreds and hundreds and there's thousands and tens of thousands of streamers streaming at any given time. How many of those people are partners? I don't know. 1%, yeah, it's very few because you have a large number.
1%, the top
1%. We are the 99%.
That's right.
God,
because you've got a large number of those. Let's just talk about the successful streamers, the streamers that have 500 plus viewers. A large percentage of those channels don't even take revenue in. Those are like channels like LCS and stuff like that. And some of the Summit, can't remember what it's called. There's a Dota stream called something Summit. These are channels that aren't individuals. Yeah, these are channels that aren't individuals. These are like conglomerates or small corporations that have been started by individuals but are now actual moving machines that take money to run. You know, it's not just like some asshole sitting in his computer chair. But there are people like Trump, like Paul Cheon, like Numat the Nummy. These guys, I think Numat the Nummy and Trump have got to be some of the highest earning Twitch streamers. And
it's a fun name.
Trump or Numat the Nummy?
No, Numat the Nummy. Come on now. Come on. Numat the Nummy and Trump, and he goes, which one's the more fun one? The one word? Jeez.
But
Trump
those guys,
is a Hearthstone streamer.
The one who hates immigrants?
Numat the Nummy is a Magic the Gathering streamer. I think he actually might stream some other random games every once in a while, too.
probably
Trump,
just like when he's bored
I know
or something.
him as Hearthstone.
No, yeah,
streamer.
Trump is a Hearthstone streamer. Numat is a Magic the Gathering streamer. I've actually watched him quite a few times.
Right, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Those guys make six figures. Those guys are bringing in the big bucks. But that's not going to happen to us or you or anybody that's listening to this show, which is like 12 people.
Hey,
but
don't
anybody
put
that's
them
listening
down.
to most shows are not going to make that kind of money. And I think that
You can do it.
You were talking about people getting accused of trying to be the next PewDiePie. Nobody's going to be the next PewDiePie. Like he was a phenomenon because he was
That guy in channel right
riding
there
the
is
peak of the wave, right? These people were riding the absolute peak of this wave. Now, streaming and YouTubing, it's kind of becoming more normal, right? And so I think, personally, I think that I don't think the fad has or the trend has passed, but I think this moment in time where you can make fucking bank, I think that's come and gone.
Right, like the peak has definitely passed for sure. Now it's just like a normal thing. Now, if you have a podcast, fuck it, throw it up there.
Yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere, but I don't think that people are gonna all of a sudden rise from the ashes and say, "Oh my god, I can stop working at McDonald's and become a stream." No, it's not gonna happen. Don't get excited.
I don't think that peak is gone in that way. I'm sure the people, the average Joe getting up there is gone, because now you need to have these big groups, like you said, the conglomerations of people who need to have a lot of editing skills, a lot of background, things going into these videos. They could do it. I feel like the streaming has a long way to go. But I think proportionally, we're going to see more average people getting up there, I feel like, over time. As streaming in general gets bigger, I think there's going to be a lot more people who could come out and make a name for themselves, even though alongside the giant people.
I'm actually kind of with Chris on this one. I think that, and this kind of leads us into our next topic. I know, Chris, this is insane. I know, this is insane. This never happens, guys. I think that the individualistic streaming peak is gone, but I think that the esports streaming is alive and well and has not even remotely reached its peak. And I think once it starts to take off the way that we think it's going to, I think that's going to influence more individuals to also stream, and we might see some of these people rise from the ashes and maybe do it in a different way. Maybe we see higher produced individual streaming, or maybe we see, I don't know, different kinds of individual streaming. Like maybe like the three of us are streaming against each other, and like that would be something that we could do or that we're gonna see. I think we're just gonna start seeing a lot more high quality. Right now, everybody's is kind of low quality. You don't really see too much beyond like a cool overlay and there's the game, right? Like there's not much beyond that. But I think that League of Legends specifically, like when I saw Worlds, that was some of the best streaming I've ever seen. That was like better than live television. That's like better than some live sports.
It's a full-on production. It's a professional endeavor.
It was insane how well that was. And let's talk about. Let's move on to that. So streaming has bled itself into esports now. Esports is exclusively streamed on Twitch and some of these other no-name ones. It's not broadcast on television except for like I think
here and there.
Like here and there, like Magic was on ESPN like in 2000.
Yeah, a long time ago. Heroes of the
Storm was on there. I know Dota 2 was streamed as well. One of the
Last International.
The Last International was on ESPN. Like one of the the Ocho or whatever. Like one of the really obscure ones. but it was there. Yeah, but it was there, and I mean, and that's huge for gaming in general. So props to us, but it's exclusively on Twitch, and then that's a big deal for Twitch. You know what I mean? Like, what are your guys' thoughts on Twitch, on it not touching, like streaming and esports not touching the television sector?
Well, I think that Twitch offers kind of a springboard, right, for which esports can launch into the mainstream media. Because right now, I mean, even 5-10 years ago, there was definitely esports. The fighting game community is one of the oldest living, consistently esport like communities that is around, and they've been around for fucking forever, right? I mean, you can go look up videos from 2003 of Evo tournaments. While they weren't like in these huge Vegas halls, they were still around, right? And people were going to them. So esports itself is not a new thing, but because the gaming culture has now accepted Twitch as sort of a broadcasting platform for all things gaming, esports just has a natural place to live. It just makes perfect sense. And as you mentioned, with all these high profile tournaments being produced by these large video game producers and developers, it's a big deal. Like legitimate money has gone into some of these endeavors, and I don't think we're quite at the place at the place where my mom is gonna know what Dota 2 is, but my mom knows about esports. And I couldn't say that 2 years ago.
Right. You couldn't even really say esports like 2 years ago, really. Like esports specifically has really, really taken off. Like just gaming as a career in itself, as a professional gamer, that's a relatively recent,
in the West.
Well, yes, obviously Korea's been gaming as, professionals forever, but yes, here in the West, it has really, really taken off.
Well, you mentioned Korea, and that's really interesting, right? Because like in Korea with StarCraft, everybody knows what that is. That's on their TV. If you go into a store or something in the streets, you can see StarCraft on television, and that's just in the zeitgeist of that culture. And that's not the case here, right? But it seems like we're definitely moving in that direction.
Wasn't so much StarCraft, it was League of Legends.
Well, nowadays, I'm sure it's League of Legends. Korea, they love it over there. Every professional League of Legends team has like imported a Korean player on it, and usually the one with the most Korean players wins. That's like the joke. That's usually the joke when you're talking about like a league tournament. It's like, which one has more Korean players? That one has 3? Nah, my money is on those.
That's just like basketball in Africa.
Yeah, it's... Oh my god. Oh man. So let's talk about this. Do we think that we're ever going to get to a point where esports is going to be on television? Like, do we think that's what's going to happen, or do we think maybe? Because I've heard a lot of people talk about it with Netflix and with Hulu and a lot of these other television networks coming out online. Do we think that maybe television is dying and that's why we haven't pushed forward, or do you think we just haven't marched forward yet?
It's funny you mention that because television is kind of in a revolution right now.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of great shows that are moving to TV. I mean, maybe not in the sports sector. I think maybe the sports sector is almost moving away, because recently there was kind of going off and then back on topic. There was a recent football tournament that was streamed online only, or a football game.
Really?
Tournament. Yeah. I think it was one of the American ones that was, but we played it in like Britain. I think usually one game we have in Britain once a year or something.
So like
I
the
don't
ultimate
watch any
grudge
games,
match?
football or otherwise. Yeah. And so that was streamed, and I think that was one of the first ones. I think Yahoo bought the rights to that, and that was streamed, and that had a decent... Actually, I don't know what the turnout was for that stream, but I remember the days leading up to it, and everybody was really excited to see how it went.
That's really interesting. I mean, so personally, my opinion is, I think television is kind of in a revolution as well, but I think that it's weird because you have shows that are not on TV, but are TV shows, right? You have like shows like Master of None. That's a show that's a Netflix original. You can only watch it on Netflix. You cannot watch that show on television at all. And like that's a weird thing, right? Like, what is it actually a television show then? Like,
well, I'm talking actual TV shows like the Rise of Walking Dead, Lover.
Well, yeah,
or
Walking
Hate
Dead
It,
and Game of
brings
Thrones.
Game of Thrones. There's a lot of shows on AMC. AMC really pushes that. Breaking Bad.
Yeah, we're in a golden age of
recently,
television right now.
Recently they came out with one new show and one coming soon. One is like called Pastor, about some badass priest who like goes around murdering people for revenge or something. That looks really, really cool. And then there's a show that just started 2 weeks ago called Into the Badlands, and it's like a kung fu style martial arts show, and it's got like a lot of great choreography, and the main character in that show is one of the actors who's going to be in the World of Warcraft movie.
Ooh.
Right on. Right on.
But see, like if you think about it though, and like let's talk about like, so television back in our day was different. Like, it wasn't the way it is now. Now you pretty much you're like, okay, when am I going to be watching television? Oh, Game of Thrones is on Sundays. Okay, so it's Sundays at 8. I'm going to watch TV. Every other time it's not going to be on. Whereas before, like when we were younger, you would just have the TV on in the living room and it'd just be on, and you just sit down and watch a show with your parents or whatever. Like, it's not like that anymore. There's less good things on TV. They're fewer and far between, and people still watch TV because there are these great shows, but a lot of them are moving over to like the stream medium. And
yeah,
I think that's a big deal. I think honestly, in my opinion, if TV is around for another 20 years, I'll be really surprised.
I think that what I think happened was as television streaming now became more and more popular, things like Netflix and Hulu became more and more accepted and more used. It put pressure on broadcast television, right?
Yeah.
And so, especially when Netflix is gonna do things like all of a sudden out of nowhere, I don't think anybody expected them to do this. Say, you know what we're gonna do? We're going to actually start making our own shows, and they're going to be 5 times as better as anything you'll ever find on network television. All of a sudden, all the network execs went, holy shit, we need to like actually start trying to make all this money we're making. And so it's just a kind of a typical, like monopolies are not good, not just because one person gets all the money, but then the quality
Things get stagnant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The quality stagnates. Dude, you took the word right out of my mouth. And so competition is always healthy for the market because entities can steal ideas off of one another and constantly force the other to improve, to be the best. And so now you get a bunch of really awesome things instead of one really shitty thing. And Netflix streaming caused that to happen with the broadcast television quality. I'm trying to remember how we got on broadcast television.
I was talking about broadcast television because I think that television is dying because, and that's why we haven't even tried to move towards.
Oh, I see.
I think that we're in the age where just the internet is going to kind of control everything, and so why not have our TV online?
That is a really good point. Maybe we were talking about if Twitch could act as a launch. As a platform for moving into broadcast television, maybe it doesn't need to. Maybe it just stops at the internet, and now most people are just going to consume their media via streaming instead of broadcast television. Is that what you're saying?
That's kind of what I'm saying. Yes, that's
I think.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Get ready for this.
Oh shit! Hold on.
I think.
Go ahead.
Okay, I think that we're gonna move I don't think internet's going to take over TV, and TV is going to be obsolete. I think we're going to move into an area where it's going to merge. We already have these smart TVs, right? We're able to have certain kind of control over specific channels, like have extra features. We're going to have this weird hybrid machine in our living rooms that people are going to still be able to come together over like a traditional TV, and it's going to use the internet in ways that we haven't used it in the past. I feel like TV is not going to go away. It's just going to utilize the internet in a way that hasn't been done before.
It's already doing that too. We're definitely already seeing it.
That's what I'm saying. It's already doing it, but it's not all the way there yet. Like I still have in my room, I still have a TV hooked up to a cable box. You know what I mean?
I have not had cable for about 10 years.
I know. I mean, I haven't touched that cable box in 10 years. It just happens to still be there. Downstairs, I have the TV hooked up to my Wii U, and I have we have like a DVR thing and like the instant. But up this one, it's just stuck there. I'm sure there's plenty of people who still don't have DVR, still don't have something like that. But eventually, down the line, those people are going to keep moving up with these, Apple TVs and things like that. And I don't think that there's a problem of, is streaming going to take over TV? I think we're going to see a merging of the two in a way that we haven't thought of.
Hopefully
that's definitely interesting. That's a good point. I could see it happening for sure.
I hope that we run into a situation that both of these industries just put pressure on each other and they both improve in quality. I mean, that's
pretty much like the Netflix and the TV situation. You hope that TV and internet kind of put pressure on each other.
Yeah, I hope that Netflix and broadcast television continue to put pressure on each other and they both continue to improve. I mean, I just don't think that broadcast television is going anywhere anytime soon. Maybe we'd have to wait another 20 to 30 years for all the old people to die. And I'm not joking when I say that, right? There's a whole generation of people that the idea of moving completely to the internet and to your computer to watch TV is just crazy. Like that's just not something that a lot of people, older people especially, think is possible or relevant or, anything like that.
It's crazy to middle-aged people. My mom.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, so it's going to be quite some time before TV goes anywhere. It's definitely suffering. I know they're definitely scrambling to try to compete with and keep up with Netflix, and that's fucking cool, in my opinion. But as far as the health of broadcast television goes, maybe that's not where video game streaming wants to be. Maybe they are supposed to be exactly where they are. So,
well, let me ask you this. Let's move forward a little bit. Let's take one step forward here. Do we think that streaming has had an influence on the gaming industry? Do you think that it influences how games are made now?
Yeah.
Dakota?
I think
absolutely. 100%. I think
that... Can you give me
maybe
some examples? Like, do you have any, in the chamber?
Yes, I do. In fact, wow. One of my light examples is just the way that video games are always keeping spectator mode in mind now, and that's also this relates to esports as well. But esports needs a spectator mode and something that's a viewable screen that can provide a lot of information to the viewer, because inevitably your streams are going to be, your Twitch streams are going to be presented from some gaming computer that's spectating a game. And so spectator mode is a big deal for game developers. I know that it's always one of the first questions that people ask when a game is in beta. Before Hearthstone had its spectator mode, everybody
was screaming for it.
People were we need it. This is inefficient, because they didn't know that Hearthstone was going to be such a big streaming phenomenon when it came out, right? And it blew the fuck up, and everybody was streaming it, and everybody was streaming tournaments of it. And what ended up happening is that, and they still do, they'll have to get really creative with their broadcast view windows and put part of the screen is partitioned off and it's one dude's hand, and the other part is the other guy's view, and kind of have to jump through hoops to make a presentable interface for media. And so that's definitely in the forefront of developers' minds. What do you think, Chris?
I definitely agree with the spectator mode portion. That's what I was going to say also, if you wanted to have my input on how it affects the industry. We see that with not only just the spectator modes in games, because we've had that before streaming, right? We've had that with StarCraft. The original StarCraft had a replay mode, maybe not a spectator.
Now it's more like of a necessity, like a game almost.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going on.
Yeah.
Beyond that, the new consoles have options to stream directly. Don't the Xbox One and PS4?
They do.
They have options to directly stream your game from a console to your computer.
Yep. And that's insane.
Who would have thought of that?
That's
like
insane.
a console generation ago.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, Steam has that ability.
You can broadcast live now. You can have a setting to where
From
you can
Steam.
it automatically broadcasts and anybody can start watching you out of nowhere.
I totally agree. As far as game development is concerned, I'm not sure if it has that much of a impact in terms of how the game is made, right? Like, we talked about it briefly in our October episode with horror games, how the horror genre was kind of revitalized in a certain way with the jump scare genres because of streaming. I don't think that made people... Maybe it did make people create more jump scare games. It revitalized a certain kind of game.
Yeah,
but maybe people don't make games towards. I think it has some to do with it, but not totally. Because you still can't make a streamable game unless it's a good game.
Well,
you know what I mean?
No, I don't agree with that. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, that's an interesting statement.
If it's absolute shit, like if it's not worth watching. If there's nothing compelling about it, nobody's going to want to watch it.
But I think it has more to do with the streamer than the game. Like, Amnesia's not a great game, but watching PewDiePie play Amnesia is hilarious.
That's a bad example. I've seen streamers play some shit games though, and that comes more to do with the streamer. I don't think that the advent of Twitch is encouraging developers to increase the quality of a game. I just think it means that they are identifying and developing towards specific goals that have to do with streaming. For instance, spectator mode being so damn important. That's the kind of thing that may have been quite low on their list of to-dos and fluff, but now is quite high on their feature list because they know, especially if they're developing some sort of multiplayer, I guess that's the only kind of game you'd have a spectator mode for, game, that the Twitch streamers and the Twitch viewers are definitely going to need that.
Yeah, well, you could have spectator mode for a single player game. Like, I would watch a spectator mode of Chris playing Super Meat Boy. That would be funny to watch him get furious.
You don't need a spectator mode. The game is the spectator mode. He just streams the game. But
I mean, right? But yeah.
So you asked me about you asked me if I had anything in the chamber. Have you heard of the game Choice Chamber, Mitch?
No, I have not.
Chris, have you heard of Choice Chamber?
Oh, did I hit the nail on the head with that wording?
You did. You hit it pretty.
That's really funny.
So Choice Chamber is a game where it's got direct Twitch integration, and so the Twitch chat of a particular viewer are able to collectively influence the game. It is a direct implementation of streaming influencing how games are made. Wow. It's just a platformer. It's like a side-scrolling platformer, but you move from room to room, kind of like Metroid style, or Zelda, where you hit the edge of the screen, right? It shifts. Now you're in a new room. In every single room, the elements in the room, the enemies, the buffs, the way the platforms move, the way the game acts, are all influenced by Twitch streaming votes. It's wild.
Wow, that's
really
insane.
Cool.
So in that case,
I haven't heard of too many.
Yeah, so in that case, I mean that's a direct result of the Twitch and video game streaming phenomenon.
Right. Obviously, they made that with streaming in mind, so that makes sense. But I mean, do you think that's going to be maybe like a new subgenre of gaming? Like, this is a stream game? You know, much like Mario Party and other games were like a play with your friends game, it's kind of like a play with an audience game. Do you think that that's maybe going to be a new genre?
It might be if they implement it the way he just said. That I've never heard of that. That's a great way to do it. I don't know about the staying power of games like that, though.
Right, obviously.
I mean,
right. I
because the
agree.
thing is, how much enjoyment can you get out of it unless you're a big time streamer?
Right. Those games are specifically made for people with viewers. They're not really made for people without viewers. Like, I could never really enjoy that game unless, like you two were watching, and then you guys would just fuck with me the whole time, and it would just be the same. Like, that's a very, very niche.
Yeah, you need to buy that game. I just get your.
That's a very.
Need to be log into it from my phone. Just sign on. Left.
Yeah. All left, right?
All left.
All left.
Yeah, you like all left, don't you?
No, but that's a very niche subset. So let's talk about this now, though. So do we think that... I asked you if we thought that the advent of streaming influenced how games are made. Let's talk about, do you think that it influences how games are played? Do you think people are playing games differently now because they want to stream them?
I think the people who stream games don't play it any differently than they would. You know, there's the radio personality. There's the radio personality kind of deal, right? Where when you're talking to a group of people, you change your attitude, you change yourself to be a bit more professional. So if you're streaming a game, you're kind of going to make your streaming persona, right? You're going to show that way. So in that way, it changes the way you're playing it. And because you have an audience, right? We always change the way our mannerisms are when we have an audience. But otherwise, I mean, that's the only way. But of course, that would change. You know what I mean?
Well, do we really think that PewDiePie plays games like that, or do you think he's like making a spectacle?
I think now, I think it's like Zach Braff syndrome in Scrubs, right? Where DJ started out one way in season 1, but by like season 6, he was like a caricature of himself. He wasn't actually DJ anymore. JD. Oh my god.
Oh my,
JD.
This guy. Okay, so we're going to be putting out applications for a new co-host, because that was some bullshit. Scrubs is one of my favorite shows.
The author of Dr. Acula.
How do I
I'm
close
with you,
your
Mitch.
square? Where's it at?
Jesus.
How do I close your square? I'm just going to click. Look, I'm going to click on it. Jeez.
Yeah, so JD's character was nothing like
worry.
his character was at the beginning of the series, and in the same way that PewDiePie's personality is probably a heightened version of how he started out. You know, I'm sure he just started out as 100% himself, and when you're streaming in front of like tens of thousands of people, you're just a caricature of yourself. You are exactly what they want you to be, because it's his job now. It's not even what he does for fun. Although he might have fun doing it, it is now his career. And so he has made a standard for himself that he has to uphold.
Yeah, he said DJ, by the way. He 100% said DJ. Don't let him live it down. Uh-huh. I want everyone to remember this. He said DJ.
Did you get a soundbite saved of the last episode with him mentioning how much he loves upskirts?
No.
That's the more important question.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's taken me so long to edit that one because there's just so much filth coming out of Dakota's mouth. It's just
scrub that episode clean.
This has been a gross thing. So I actually think it has influenced the way games are played, but in a weird way. So you were talking about, Dakota, how like streaming Hearthstone is kind of weird. Now I see people that are streaming Hearthstone kind of bitch about what's called stream sniping, where like you realize like, I'm playing against Amaz. And, let me log on to Twitch, see if he's streaming. Oh, he is. I see his hand. Boom. And so I see a lot of streamers, especially like the really popular ones, that play games such as this, like such as Magic the Gathering, such as Hearthstone. I see them making different decisions because they think someone's watching them play as they're playing against him. But that's the only situation in which I could think that it's influenced how they're played.
It happened in I'm gonna go back to this Evolve.
Oh my god!
You're able to see the monster.
It's been a couple episodes since you fucking.
Yeah, no.
But now they have a way that you see your team.
Banned. Cannot talk about Evolve. Pick something else.
No, because then he's just going to talk about Splatoon.
Because that's a game that's streamed. No. That was a game that I saw. I don't watch any streamed games, so when I was into that, I mean, it wouldn't work with Overwatch because when you see the character, it's there. Like,
God,
there's not a lot of games that hide
Evolve,
information.
And he's not talking about Splatoon. He's bitching about Overwatch. These are the three things, Chris. This is all you do.
No, I talked about Unreal Tournament today.
Oh, that's true. That's right. There's 4.
An oldie but a goodie, right?
Yeah, first there. So, do we think that streaming is impacting the quality of either one of these things? Do you think it's impacting the quality of how they're made or how they're played? Now, I know we talked about this before. Do we think that they're bumping up the quality of games so that they'll be streamed? I think we're kind of all in disagreement of that.
But
do we think that people streaming games are playing them worse now? I would say yeah. I think I see some people playing them worse because they're not used to having an audience.
I think that like anything, you do it in front of a couple people and you do it a little differently, right? And there's certainly Twitch streamers out there that will intentionally do poorly, I guess, in order to
as part of their persona.
Yeah, as part of their character or whatever. So yeah, there's a little bit of that. I don't think that it's having a negative influence on the industry at large, though. In fact, quite the opposite. Just the mere existence and success of Twitch has brought a relevancy to the video game scene and culture that is unprecedented. Video games are more popular than ever. Thank you very much. Video games are more popular than they ever have been, and that's that. It's not thanks to Twitch, but Twitch is definitely doing good things for.
It's definitely helping play a part.
Yeah, for sure.
They're definitely helping play their part, and we are seeing astronomical growth of just video game acceptance as a thing. So it's pretty sweet. And now, even on Twitch, so we have a lot of people streaming. We have a lot of people streaming like weird games. But then you have like what we're doing. We have different types of channels on Twitch now. People aren't even streaming games on Twitch anymore. We're branching off into like, I watched Bob Ross paint for like a week, or
yeah.
We have talk shows on Twitch. We have people just streaming music on Twitch. Like we have that one guy that just plays piano on Twitch, and he just like plays a bunch of video game songs on piano and all these really cool things, and that's cool. There's a gaming center down by my house called Versus Gaming, and there was definitely a couple nights where we put that on in the gaming center. It was awesome. Everybody enjoyed it.
And I think once Twitch moved away from Justin TV and to the branding of Twitch, everything that happens on Twitch has to be related to gaming in some way. So your talk shows have to be video game related. Even your creative channels have to be video game related. I believe. I know Bob Ross is not, but I think the Bob Ross stream was. I think the Bob Ross stream was presented by Twitch themselves. Is that right?
Right. I think that, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was something that they did to kind of like honor Bob Ross.
But I've seen a bunch of I've seen one of the biggest Dota 2 modelers live working on Twitch. Anuxi, I think her name is. She was creating some skins and some items, and she was streaming her work there. And I've seen a girl paint on Twitch, and she was painting video game stuff. So I think they're kind of they don't want you to do non-gaming things on here, but it still opens up the gate for things.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's got to do with again the relevancy of the gaming industry and gaming, not just video gaming as an entertainment platform, but video gaming as a cultural entity, right? When you think about what was important to people in the past, like when we read in history books and shit like that, right? Poetry and the live theater was obviously very important several hundred years ago. And then
music as well.
Musical
performances, yeah.
Right. Poetry had a big one. Literature has always been relevant and important to our culture as human beings. Video games themselves are starting to become a cultural touch point. And they're going to kind of have a lot to do with everything we do. And it just goes hand in hand with the advent of technology. So,
Chris, I'm
just imagining a bunch of like huffy old people in their nice suits and tie and dresses and cocktail dresses going to the opera house to watch a new play of the Marios. Our generation's gonna go to Kravitz Center.
Absolutely, it's just like
I hear that in this act Mario will finally meet the princess. I think she's going to be in another castle, though.
I heard that Blaze It 42069 Doritos Mountain Dew Man is going to be playing a rousing match of Call of Duty this evening.
Exactly. It's like 10 years ago, Nick Swartzen had a bit about his grandma listening, or when he was going to be a grandpa, he would be listening to gangster rap, right? And this is just that same joke. But it's not a joke, right? I mean,
it's not a joke. It's like actually happening now.
We can say honestly that we're going to be playing video games for the rest of our lives, right?
Yeah.
As long as these hands work.
That's right.
Well, they will have created robotic fingers and stuff for us. So, but then that'll be like a whole other thing in the esports community of people cheating using robotic fingers, and That's gonna be a big controversy. So
cybernetic rights.
Yeah, cybernetic rights, man. They're people too. So I asked you why everything had to be gaming related, right? My thought is I don't think Twitch wants to let other things in because then it's just going to become like a marketing.
I misunderstood your question. Yeah, why does Twitch curate their content to gaming stuff alone?
Yeah, why is it their major avenue?
I think they don't want to dilute the brand. I think that
and that's exactly what I said.
Yeah, Justin TV was too broad. You could watch streams of somebody ironing their clothes and that was okay, but it's like, all right, well now
I missed
remember
out
the
on
categories?
that.
They had categories: sports, hobbies, art, creative, stuff like that. But by refining and focusing their brand on gaming specifically, it allows them to target a niche market, which is going to bring you tight and persistent viewership. On the other hand, I was just saying how the niche market of gaming is becoming wider and wider, but that works in their favor because they can have their market is still
variety of the same niche area.
Exactly.
Let me
finish real quick. Their target market is still well defined, but it's still huge.
Yeah, I agree.
Before today, I never, like I said, I don't really watch too many streams, but I was looking around my limited time and I was like, okay, what other kind of options are there for streaming? I knew that there was the YouTube Gamer or whatever. I saw the live stream website. It was just live stream, right? And I wanted to see, oh, you know what? That looks like, it's not gaming related because I wanted to see what the other side does with their streaming, right? So I went on to live stream and it was just like a pitiful display of nothing. Like there was the top viewership for these videos was like 300, and a lot of them weren't even like someone doing something, someone like showing some kind of art, someone creating something, maybe someone there was some comedy channel, but it had one guy watching it and one guy streaming in the comedy channel. A lot of them I saw were like newscasts from other countries, and those were the ones that had the top views. I think the top view that wasn't a newscast was I don't even remember, man. But there wasn't too much on there.
Chris, what? I'm just imagining that guy is just like me streaming to you, and just like I'm telling you jokes, and that's it. It's just me like, Chris,
tell me some jokes.
Chris, you remember that one time Dakota said something about upskirts?
Guys, that's kind of what we're doing right now.
Oh man, I mean it's crazy. So let's talk about this. What are some of your guys' favorite Twitch streams? Now, Chris, I know you don't have a thought. That's why all of your labels are sad faces.
I have a thought.
But Dakota, what's your favorite? What would be your favorite Twitch stream?
I was saying I have a thought.
Yeah,
go ahead, Chris.
I moved past you.
I watch for me, because I don't watch any Twitch, what I do is like when a new game comes out, a game that I'm interested in, if I don't have enough marketing media, right? If they come out with like a new video or something, if somebody's playing the beta, like for instance Overwatch, or recently I watched one for I forget what the name of the game is. I watched one for Unreal also. Going to talk about Overwatch, going to talk about Unreal. But I watched streams of those because I was like, oh, I want to find out more information, but there's not anything on there. So I'm going to watch some guy play it for a little while. Oh, that guy's playing Genji, for instance. How do you take on a Bastion with that? Oh, that's really cool. And I'll turn it on for like maybe a minute while I'm waiting for something. But I don't pick any particular guy. I pick what kind of game and what's happening in the game. I've watched Vermintide once for a particular level because I wanted to see how to pick up like where the loot die was.
That's really specific.
I almost use it as like a walkthrough in a certain way. Not like a walkthrough, but as I'm interested in how you play this level. I'm maybe eating dinner or something, and I just want to check out some. Oh, that's pretty interesting. I'll put it down. I don't pick anybody. I just watch it like that. So that's, as people who don't follow streamers, that's how I use these streaming channels sometimes.
Yeah, Dakota? That's interesting because it highlights how you can use Twitch in a variety of ways. Because that's a very specific like use case for Twitch that you have. And I watch Twitch for very different reasons. Some of my favorite channels to watch are Magic's official channel and Capcom Fighters official channel. Something we didn't mention, but we don't have time to dig in too much, is how large video game entities are using Twitch to reach out to their fans of their video games. Like the game makers, developers, publishers themselves are utilizing Twitch as a tool. And I really enjoy Twitch for that reason. I watch all the Magic tournaments on the weekends on Magic's official channel, and I watch all of Street Fighter's tournaments and all of their Street Fighter 5 sneak peeks on their official channels. So that's my favorite thing about Twitch. What about you, Mitch?
Sweet. I'm right there with you. I mean, I already mentioned I love Paul Cheon. He is one of my favorite streamers. He's a very funny guy, very nice guy, and he's very, very smart. Very intelligent person. He's very good at Magic. So I will watch him every once in a while if nothing else is on. But most of the times I really only utilize Twitch pretty much for the same reasons you said, Dakota. I think that the quality of some of these tournaments that are being streamed on Twitch is so high that I got to pay attention to it. So I'll use Twitch to watch like the League Worlds or League Opens or the LCS Championships or this or that or that, or like the Magic, like the Star City Games tournaments. I'll definitely watch those on Twitch all the time. So that's what I see.
Watch a Counter-Strike match.
I do have to shout out, though, one of my favorite Twitch channels, however, is the South Florida Magic channel. Represent them. They stream Legacy on Sundays, so definitely check them out if you're interested in some Legacy streaming. But yeah, Chris, go ahead. You were saying something?
Well, I was just saying, I actually, now you mentioned the esport, the only reason, which I thought real quick I'm going to mention, I watched the Counter-Strike channel because when I was really into Counter-Strike, they had some Counter-Strike World something going on, and they promoted it on the front page of Counter-Strike when you logged in. Another of that promotion of the streaming,
yeah, that's crazy,
and the game to have people promote watching the tournament. So I did that while I was waiting for a match to join. I was like, oh wow, check that out. See a couple matches while I'm. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, we're glad that Twitch exists. Thank you, Twitch. We're glad that, it's really furthering the cause. Let's actually, guys, I'm excited about this metabet. Let's get on to it.
The metabet is where we bet on the Metacritic score of a video game that's being released. Last week, we bet on Just Cause 3 for the PlayStation 4.
Oh, my God.
As a recap,
I've seen some reviews, and I've like watched some videos, and I'm like, no, this game looks so good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, dude, it's fun as hell, man. So to recap, last week I came in with a bet of 86. Chris is in the money position, 85, and Mitch is at 80. What's up, Chris?
Jeez.
We didn't go over the results of last week's
You're absolutely right.
We did not.
You were trying to skip over.
You're absolutely right. All right, before we get into this week's metabet, let's review.
So now you have to wait.
Yeah, last week Mitch lost the metabet, which means he incurs a punishment.
No.
No?
That was the week before.
I lost. You're
I'm all off, dude.
Man.
Dakota's
Last
thinking about
week
upskirts.
we bet on.
I can't get over these upskirts, man.
We bet on the. Did we bet on the Mario Tennis?
The Mario Tennis game. And
Mario
Chris
Tennis,
got crushed.
Ultra
Remember, we made him do
Smash
the all
destroyed.
left. We made him do all left.
You made me do all left on Hearthstone. I didn't have a lot of chance to play games.
He had to do
this
an
week,
arena.
but I was
He had
playing
to pick-
Hearthstone on my mobile.
Yeah.
I had to do arena only, or not arena only, but I had to do at least 3 matches by choosing the only left option.
That's right.
And because I was saving up a lot of gold for the recent expansion, it completely destroyed me. Actually, what's really interesting, the first one I picked, I thought I was going to do the worst. I even got 2 wisps.
Nice.
In that grouping.
Nice.
Yes.
2
a wisp is a 0-mana 1/1.
Right?
Probably the worst card in the game.
I got 2 wisps. I ended up going 5-3.
Wow, that's
Well,
respectable.
yeah, I did
man.
see.
No lie.
Tell him the turn 1 play. That was so
Turn
good.
1, I coined out. What did I do? I coined out a.
You coined out like a zombie
a
chow,
wisp?
a 2/1, and then the wisp as well.
Yeah, a wisp, a zombie chow, and another 2/1. Turn 1, I had them all out
Wow.
there.
The
I was
stealth,
like,
the
bam,
stealth
bam,
guy,
bam.
the stealth worgen.
Yeah, the Worgen.
Yeah.
Nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
that was really funny. But so the first one I went 5-3, and I'm like, oh man, this all left things. No, didn't work out. So I ended up just kind of wasting. Oh, but I did get a Gazlowe out of one of the
Hey,
packs.
Right on.
see,
I won.
we are here to help you,
So
Chris.
I made a fun
You're
little mage
welcome.
deck. So it
Yeah,
turned
you're
out,
welcome, Chris.
even though I wasted a bunch of gold, they were delayed the week of the expansion.
Wait a minute.
So
How
I
did
was
you
able
waste a
to
bunch of gold?
Because I spent 150 on each arena.
Each?
And I'm trying to save up the gold.
Chris, you only had to do 1.
He did 3.
No.
He did 3.
You did 3.
I did.
You told him to do 3?
No. We
Well, you
we
guys
had said
said-
do 3 at first, but we revised it to 1. He must have missed the memo.
I kept with the 3. I wanted to I kept true to my
That's
word.
all right.
So I went for 3.
That's all right.
Chris is
All
a
right.
trooper, man. Okay, so Dakota,
I got ahead of myself.
86. Yeah, Dakota 86, Chris 85, I'm 80.
On Just Cause 3.
Just Cause
On
3,
Just
our
Cause
bets
3.
86, 85, 80. The way it works is whoever's closest to the Metacritic score on the day of release wins. Whoever's furthest away loses and has to incur a video game punishment or handicap. So, I'm up top 86, Chris 85, Mitch 80. Today, I believe today is the day of release based on... let me pull up my notes. Based on 15 Metacritic scores, Just Cause 3 has a score
Give me an 82. Just give me an 82.
of 80 exactly, making Mitch the winner. Mitch is the winner, and I
didn't expect that.
am
Not
the loser.
basic. Yes! Oh my god. I'm so excited. I was watching like videos of this game all week and going, holy shit, this game looks great. I'm gonna lose 100% of the time. Dakota, it's been a minute since you've had a punishment.
It has, because I'm fucking awesome. I haven't lost in some time.
Not today. I nailed it. So since I actually got it exactly 2, I'm making yours extra hard.
Wow. Okay. Well, I was gonna suggest that you hit me on Overwatch since we haven't done that yet.
Because he has it and we don't have it.
100%.
So you played it, which is good.
I've given Chris this handicap. Maybe I can give you this handicap. You can only play Roadhog.
All right, so he was all what's he called in that game? I want to say Pudge, but that's not right. Stitches. His was all Stitches. Mine's all Roadhog. All hooks all day.
Yeah, all right. You can only play Roadhog, and your team's gonna be mad at you because they're gonna be like, "We really need a healer," and you'd be like, "Well, I can heal myself," and you're gonna eat the little thing, and
they're gonna be real mad when I've got like 33% hook accuracy. But all right, all Roadhog all the time sounds good to me.
Make sure you get some streaming of it in too, so we can watch you. Now we've got a Twitch channel. Make sure you get some streaming. There. Maybe we'll get either Dakota to get on his channel. We'll probably promote it on this channel if he is streaming some. We'll make sure he gets to stream some of the metabet challenge. So that'll be fun. Cool. So what are we betting on this week? I'm excited.
All right,
doing real well.
Are you?
I'm on fire. I mean, I hit it on the dot.
That's right. This week we're gonna bet on Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U.
Oh God!
So this is the follow-up to Xenoblade Cross, I believe. Or is it? It's a very, very Japanesey game.
Jeez,
you play as like an avatar guy with a mech on an alien planet. There's some shit going on. I've got my number written. It
definitely sounds Japanese.
Very Japanese.
Oh man, now that we have stream, we should get like cards that like hold them up too. We should definitely do that for next time.
Yeah,
totally. You like the little what do you call the Olympic scores? Just like hold up the numbers.
I got a shitty note card, so I'm gonna write it on that.
I have no paper in front of me, but I'm gonna type it out at least. Where can I even type this? I'll type it right here. Okay.
On your computer.
There's so many screens up right now. It's ridiculous.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, I'm ready. I've got my number.
It's on the Wii U, right? It's not on any other console?
That's correct.
It's a Wii U exclusive?
Most things on the Wii U are not on other consoles. So.
Oh, man. Okay, I have my number.
All right.
I got my number.
Chris, what is your number? 77. All right.
77.
Still have to say it. We are an audio podcast as well. Mitch, what's your number?
No. They just have to know.
They have
what
to
I
watch
chose.
now. We're gonna make you watch.
Yeah.
My number was actually.
Stream episode.
I feel good now because I thought maybe I was gonna be an asshole, but no. My number was 79.
79?
I feel like it's going to be lower. Oh, please.
I feel like it was going to be lower, too. I actually thought mine was a little too high.
Let me be in the money spot.
I think it's going to be lower, too, now that I think about it. I went with the tried and true 82 because I didn't know fuck all. Putting Mitch in the money position. There's no way he can lose next week. I'm high, Chris is low. We'll have to see what happens.
Jeez, that's nuts. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this one. I've been on a relatively decent roll. I lost a couple metabets ago, but I've been on a roll. This has been nice. It's time to take Dakota down. Well, if you've never been to Analog Stick Radio, if you've never been to Bit Cultures, definitely check it out. That's the site that is hosting all of this. It's the site that promotes this entire show. We work for them. We help them out.
It's in that bottom corner.
It's down there somewhere. There's definitely a little button for it. Definitely check them out. We have a lot of different articles. We have a lot of really cool content. We have this podcast, which we're now streaming. The other podcast not streamed, but still recorded. Very good podcast called Bitcast, We have a lot of different videos that we put up there. We have a primer, a whole little thing on primers on like different game cultures. We have a bunch of articles. Dakota writes a bunch of them. They're all very, very high quality. So definitely check it out. If you want to reach out to us, all of our information, most of it's on the screen somewhere. My stream and my Twitch are on there. Dakota's stream and his Twitch are on there. If you want to reach out to us, you can reach us at analogstickradio@gmail.com. But yeah, and definitely, join us next week. We're going to be hosting this every single week on Tuesday at 11 p.m. Eastern. And, there may be free beer next week. I don't know. Tune in to find out, right?
That's right.
So guys, anything you want to say before we wrap it up? How was your guys' first time streaming this? What are your thoughts?
I feel exposed.
If you guys could rate our streaming experience on a 5-star scale, what would you give it?
Oh no,
that's wholly unnecessary. I don't have anything for you, man. Mitch, take us home.
All right. Well, I definitely want to thank everybody who is in the Twitch chat for joining us. I want to thank Chris and Dakota obviously for coming along for this ride. Nanners, thank you, buddy. And guys, we will see you next week. We're probably going to still be here to talk to the people in the chat for a little bit longer. So definitely stick around if you're still here. But otherwise, we will see you next week.
All right. Adios.
Later.